What's good with y'all? It's Cameron. Another video straight like that. Comment below what you want to see in the next one. Like, subscribe if you brand new. And let's get it, man. Demon time as usual. So look, dog, y'all see the title of the video today. We're going to be talking how to get her addicted to you. Now, before I give y'all this knowledge, I just want to say this. Yes, I've lightly tapped on this subject before, but we really going to be going in depth on the psychological reasons on why certain things get people attached and what's going to get her addicted to you, exactly what to do. But I just want to say that once you have this knowledge, it's up to you to use it for good or evil. You know what I'm saying? My advice is that you probably shouldn't be using this on chicks that you are not interested in a relationship with. I mean, you can, but the thing is, it's kind of like a waste of time, and it's kind of like, you know, why? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not interested in a relationship, then, you know, why are you going to go through all that? Because basically what I'm going to tell you is how to emotionally imprint her, bro. And when you emotionally imprint a woman, it's very, very likely that she will never forget you, bro. Like what I'm about to tell you, she's never going to forget you if you do this, bro. Or she'll either never forget you, bro, or you will have an impact on the remainder of her relationships. So the way that you go about this is going to have a huge, huge impact on her relationships going forward. So with that being said, man, let's just hop right into it. Now, what y'all have to understand is this video I'm going to break down into two different parts. In order to truly understand connection between men and women and how to make someone addicted to you, I'm going to break it down from the opposite perspective first, right? So I'm going to talk about men and your first love, bro. I'm gonna be talking about how your first love went, your first heartbreak. And then after that, after I break down and explain everything that happened there, I'm going to then move over to how to make her addicted to you, right? How to use similar tactics on how she made you fall for her. I'm gonna switch it around, and then it's gonna be how to make her fall for you using them same tactics. But I advise y'all to stay for the whole thing because you got to understand the whole big picture. All right. I just want y'all to see everything. So like I said, I'm going to be talking about your first love first. And the reason I want to talk about your first love is because for majority of men, I say like 90% of men, most likely a good amount of men, we've all been through, we fell for a girl, right? We fell for this girl that we thought was cute or whatever. And most of the times it ends badly. Like there's very few situations to where your first relationship ends good. Like that's just not something that happens. It does happen sometimes, but on average, that doesn't happen. Generally, it doesn't end well for the guy, bruh. And let me break it down. Like in short, what it is that you fall for a chick and she ends up doing something, whatever, because you was a simp, and then it ends badly. Now you're heartbroken. So we really gonna go into the science, like the psychology of this, dog. So boom, as an average guy, you are deprived of female attention, most likely. You don't get attention. You get no play from women for the most part. And because of that, you crave that, right? That is a craving that most men have. Before you've ever been in any kind of interaction with a real chick or whatever, you are craving that attention from women, okay? Because you've been deprived of it for a long time. Because the ultimate truth is that women, it's easier for them to attract men than for men to attract women. All right, there's dudes in their 20s or whatever that's literally still virgins to this day, bro. You feel me? So, with that being said, because we have that lack of attention from women, it is very easy to get a guy invested in a relationship when he's never been involved with a woman before. Okay, and that is ultimately the average guy's downfall. So what happened is this, bro. You saw a chick and you liked her, right? She passed the eye test. She passed the physical attraction test. You know what I mean? She's physically attractive or whatever the case may be. But understand that it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the fact that she was cute, because you had crushes before and things just either didn't work out or you didn't shoot your shot or whatever. Something was different about this chick. Okay, you was invested. You liked her, right? You found her physically attractive, so you had a little crush on her or whatever. The difference about this chick was that she liked you back. This chick liked you back. And this was probably this is the first time that this has ever happened. A chick liked you back. And understand that is a big deal for a lot of guys, because they don't understand. They never understood how that felt to be liked back. They never understood how it felt to have a chick actually be interested, that they were interested in as well. You feel me? Like they've never experienced that. So off rip right there, it's like boom, like the emotional attachment begins, really, right there. When you find somebody that is reciprocating that same energy to you, especially when you've never had it before. You feel me? But it's gonna go way deeper, man. So don't even trip. We gonna go way deeper, dog. Understand this. That chick liked you back, right? She gave you a chance. What happened was, you know, y'all start talking or whatever the case may be. Because you've been so deprived of female attention, you were never able to fulfill what is called your love language, bruh. Now, ultimately, there are, I think, like 5 different love languages. What it is like quality time, acts of service, gifts, physical touch, and words of affirmation. I think it's those 5. There might be more. Correct me if I'm wrong. Most people, I would think, is probably physical touch and words of affirmation. Those are probably the 2 most common ones, maybe followed by acts of service or something like that, or quality time. I don't know. But whatever your love language is, see, understand the way that it works is that your love language is really just, it's kind of, think of it as like a type. You know what I mean? You know how you have a type of woman that you like, a type of woman that you're interested in? Kind of think of it like that. You have a type on, you have a preference on how you want a woman to show affection to you, right? And it's just different for every person. You know what I mean? Everyone has a different type. Everyone has a different love language or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might like words of affirmation. Someone else might like physical touch more. And it's not like, oh, it's just one thing and this is all I like. It's kind of like almost like a ranking system. It's like, oh, I like this the most, and then I like this too, and then I like this too, I like this too. Understand that because this is the first time a chick has ever shown interest back to you, she's hitting on those love languages, bro. She's hitting on them love languages, bro. Understand that. And so because of this, now you're feeling some type of way, right? So like, for example, okay, so like me, unfortunately, one of my love languages or whatever is words of affirmation. I say unfortunately because, you know, people could cap or whatever, but that's just how it is. That's one of them. Okay. So like for me, right, the first time I had ever went through this, I was dealing with a chick who for the first time was, you know, she was telling me everything that I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? Out of a woman. She was telling me everything that I always wanted to hear from a woman. And that roped me in. Okay. That was the first stage of me getting attached to her, right? She was telling me everything that I wanted to hear, right? For you, it might be physical touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first chick that's interested in you. She touching on you or whatever in the way that you want to be touched, whatever. You know what I mean? You feeling some type of way. That's roping you in. That is part of being addicted. Understand that, or being addicted to someone, right? That's like stage 1, really. So understand that because of this, now you're becoming more comfortable. You're becoming more comfortable because she's fulfilling your love languages. Y'all continuing to talk. Y'all getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And then this next part is that y'all are becoming more connected emotionally. Y'all are on a much more emotional level. So what happens is, as you're talking to this chick, you opened up a lot. You've never opened up to someone like this before, let alone a female, bro. You opened up a lot. Okay. And y'all got to a deep level, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you told her maybe your deepest, darkest secrets, whatever the case may be. You told her whatever. You was an open book completely. You may have even been vulnerable, broke down, cried, whatever in front of her, bro. You know what I mean? Even it don't even have to be that serious. You maybe even just like express your feelings in a way that was just like maybe overboard or whatever. You were extremely vulnerable to her. You were emotional with her because you felt comfortable with her. This is the first time you were able to feel comfortable with a chick because she fulfilled some of your love languages, right? You feel comfortable with her. You're opening up to her emotionally. Okay, now understand, this is the first time that you're going through this thing. So this is just like really roping you in. You feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, you've never been able to be emotionally available to someone. Like, you've never felt this from someone before. So obviously what's going to happen is you're going to have a reaction to where you're attaching to her emotionally. You're attaching to her emotionally. And then what happens is, after some time, guess what? She gradually starts to lose interest over time. And it's not just a quick dip. It's not just like, oh, y'all were, you know what I mean? Y'all had an emotional connection, love languages is being fulfilled, and then just drop. No. She showed you that attention, all of that, and then guess what? It gradually started going downhill. And by the time you noticed, it was too late. I want y'all to think of it like a drug, right? They really think about, because this is how to get someone addicted. So let's think about addiction. What is that really based on, right? Let's take drugs, for example, right? When you do a drug, the first time you do it, you are fulfilling or you get mad high, bro. You get high as you stupid, like you way up here. You feel like you're on cloud nine, whatever, right? For the most part, it feels good, right? For the most part, it feels good when you take that drug the very first time, bro. Every single time after that, you are trying to chase that same high that you felt the first time. But little do you know that because you keep on doing this particular drug over time, right, you are going to become less, or you're going to become more desensitized to it. Okay. And because you're becoming more desensitized to it, you're going to get more and more frustrated and more addicted because you're still chasing that high. I gotta get back to, I gotta feel how I felt the first time I did this. When whole time, you're never gonna get back to that point because you've already desensitized yourself. That's kind of like the same kind of concept, right? This chick showed you attention, right, for the first time. She showed, she fulfilled your love languages. She connected with you on an emotional level. Y'all was in a relationship or whatever. You know, you felt that physical touch from a woman. You heard those words from her. Y'all even said probably the L word. Y'all said you loved each other, whatever the case may be. And that was a really high for you. Understand that biologically we crave emotions, bruh. Like that was a high for you, bruh. So as she gradually started to taper off and lose interest, right? Because see, the thing is, once you experience that high, bro, as a man, the first time we experience that, men, we love hard, bro. So we see that from a woman the first time, we giving her the world, we giving her everything because we have no idea what's about to come next. So she's gradually starting to taper off and lose interest, right? So psychologically, it's like, okay, I'm seeing she's starting to lose interest, but I don't know what to do now. I want to chase that high again. I got to get back to where that was. So you run it. Now you're over validating, you're over complimenting, you're overcompensating, right? It's just like when people lose or when people are continuously addicted, they keep taking these drugs. They got to continue to take more and more and more every time. They got to start stacking the amount that they take just to feel something, right? Now you are overdoing it. You over complimenting, over validating, you being a simp so that you can try and get that same thing back in return when whole time you're never going to get that same thing back in return because she's continuously losing interest, right? And understand that you overdoing it is going to make her continue to lose interest because women do not want to be relied upon emotionally. Understand that there's masculine and feminine energies, right? She wants to be able to rely on you emotionally, dog. She has an emotional need that she needs to fulfill, and she cannot fulfill that if you are not in a position to where you could be masculine and lead, right? So when you're leaning on her emotionally, when you know what I mean, you doing way too much and you starting to be a simp or whatever, of course she's gonna continuously lose interest, and it's just a compound effect. Then eventually she completely loses interest, and now you're what? You're heartbroken. You're heartbroken, and because you're heartbroken, now it's like dang, like now you have a sense of like, wow, like I'm never gonna let that happen again. But the truth is, it probably will happen again. You want to know why it's gonna happen again? It's gonna happen again because as much as, you know, I preach on my channel, you know, you have to make the logical decisions, whatever. That is a very difficult thing to do because we are all human and we all have emotions. You cannot erase your emotions. Anyone that says they don't have emotions is a liar. You're not a robot, bro. You either not human or you a liar. If you tell me you just don't feel anything, bro. That's big cap. Everyone feels something, okay? But what it is that you have to be able to be strong enough mentally to choose what is better for you, regardless of what you feel like. You know what I mean? You may feel like, oh, I want to be with this woman who I know is toxic, but logically you have to learn how to make the correct decision. You know what I mean? And so boom, right there, that example of that first love is exactly that's setting the premise of how to get her addicted to you, bruh. Because you're going to use kind of like similar tactics. Understand that. Okay, so with that being said, now let's get into the second part of this video. Boom. How to get her addicted to you. The thing is, bro, before we even really get into this, let me preface this by saying the very first thing that you need to do is self-improve and up your looks. By up your looks, I mean hygiene and all that. You feel me? Oh, but I'm ugly, whatever, bro. You can always self-improve. Understand that is the gateway to this, okay? If you are not physically attracted to her, let me just tell you right now, none of this is gonna work. You have to pass the eye test, bro. You have to pass the eye test. Otherwise, this is all pretty much for nothing. This is all pretty much for nothing, bro. Okay, so with that being said, boom. how to get her addicted to you, how to get her attached to you. Let's start from the very, very beginning. Now, I've touched on this beginning part before, right? Most women, right, nowadays have some level of ego just due to the nature of the dating game now. You know what I mean? You go on social media, the average woman has thousands and thousands of likes because dudes is thirsty and maybe she posts thirst traps or whatever. So the average chick is probably going to have some level of ego, right? Because she knows for a fact that she can get as many guys as she wants. Most women can get any guy that they want. That's just the truth. Most women can get any man that they want and they can have him. Okay. But, and it's not the same the other way around. It's just not. So with that being said, you have to learn how to break this ego. The only way that you're going to stand out is if you break this ego. You have to be attracted to her and you got to break that ego. The way that you do that is obviously you got to pass the eye test or whatever. But let's say that you walk into a party, club, gym, whatever, right? The girl that everyone is looking at and staring at, don't look at her. Don't stare at her. Don't give her that attention. Attention deprivation is always going to be the key with what I'm about to tell y'all. So attention deprivation, you don't look her way. You know what I mean? You focused on other things or whatever. Okay. Now, as you're not doing that, right, you still have to be, you know what I mean? Let's say that you're just chilling, right? You're not really giving her attention. You're not really giving her a time of day. Maybe at the corner of your eye, you see you're giving you choosing signals, right? Choosing signals can be something like she stare at you for a little bit. She keep looking over at you. She glancing at you. That's what it usually is. Or maybe she continues to be in your vicinity. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she brushes past you or whatever. Women are always going to give very subtle signs, very subtle choosing signals, bruh. And the thing about choosing signals is that, you know, people might be, oh, you know, I like choosing signals. I don't like choosing signals. Either way, if you want to get her attached to you, I guarantee you that choosing signals is going to be the way to go because it's going to be much, much easier. You're going to be in a much better position. You can get her to be attached to you when you cold approach. I'm just saying that it's going to be a much faster route if you wait for choosing signals or if you use it on a chick that's giving you choosing signals in the first place. So understand this, man. Regardless of the choosing signals, you as a man are going to have to make the approach regardless. You are going to have to make the approach. Because she's not going to do it. There's a small chance that she might approach you, but for the most part, you are going to have to go up to her and spit game. You feel me? She's only going to do as much as getting close to your vicinity, look your way. She's only going to give you those choosing signals, and you just got to be able to pick up on them. So boom, you doing your thing. You would deprive her of that attention, whatever. She likes you. You see she's giving you choosing signals, and then you end up going up to her. And you talk to her, you know what I mean? And then the whole talking to her part, I'm probably going to make a whole separate video on that. But just know that when you're talking to her, ultimately, you just want to maintain good eye contact, good body language. You want to be close to her physically, whatever. You give her your number and boom. Now, after you do that, after that exchange, you want to make sure that you're not giving her too much attention. You want to continue to deprive her of attention after that interaction, whatever. Because I promise you, that is that right there, deprivation of attention is literally the key. That is the key. Now, y'all are now talking. You know what I mean? Y'all talking, y'all linking up. The number one thing that you have to remember when talking to a woman is that you have to keep a level of mystery and unpredictability. Unpredictability is one of the most important things when you're talking to a chick, because as soon as you become predictable is the moment that she starts to lose interest. Right? You have to be more spontaneous, less predictable, right? As soon as she picks up on this pattern, now it's boring. Boring is literally the killer of all sexual tension. You don't want to be boring, bruh. Okay, I promise you that. You do not want to fall into a pattern of, I know he's going to do this. I know he's going to do this. You do not want her to know for certain anything about you. Understand that. Now, along with that, what you also have to understand is the whole opening up piece. When you're talking to a woman, you never want to open up too quickly, too fast, or too much. If you open up too much, too fast, that's going to scare her away. You don't want to do that. Okay, what you want to do is gradually open up. Okay, now the thing is too, as you're talking to her, y'all going on dates, y'all linking up, whatever, you're still picking her brain, whatever. It's a game. Understand that it's a game. You want her to open up as much as it's an exchange of, think of it as an exchange of information. You want to exchange as little information for as much information as possible. You want to give up as little about yourself for as much about her as possible. You want to learn about her background, about what she's been through, whatever, all of that. And you want to give up the bare minimum. Okay, ultimately you are picking her brain. You want her to open up as much as possible. The less you open up, the better. Now, eventually you are going to have to open up. Why? Because vulnerability is one of the things that vulnerability and authenticity is one of the things that adds to getting a woman attached, adds to making someone addicted to you. Vulnerability, right? Along with emotions as well. We're going to get to that. So eventually you are going to have to open up to her. Okay. And when you open up to her, you don't want to have to do it in a way to where you're super duper vulnerable and you're just breaking down in front of her crying. Bro, the way that you do it, the way that you open up to her is you kind of put it in a positive light. So let's say that you've been through something in the past or whatever, and you've gotten over it. You say it in a more positive way, like, oh yeah, you know, I've been through whatever in the past. I've been through whatever in the past, but it's made me a much better man today. Now, I know that sounds vague, but I'm not actually having the conversation. Obviously, you know, you would put it in the context of whatever you've been through. I don't know what y'all been through before, you feel me? But you want to put it in a much more positive way. You don't want to be emotional and breaking down and crying. The other thing too is you don't want to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. You never ever want to tell every single thing. You never want to overshare. You want to share just enough. You want to get a little deep. You want to get a little deep in conversation, you feel me? But you never want to open up to the point where you have absolutely nothing left. You've told her 100% every single thing about you, bruh. There has to be some level of mystery at this stage. Understand that. And understand that the goal is to get her to open up more than you, right? That vulnerability, understand that that authenticity, that vulnerability is going to add to her becoming attracted to you. Now, understand that there's a lot of nuances to this. Okay, so we're going to go back a few steps. Understand that in order for her to open up, in order for her to build that emotional connection through vulnerability and authenticity, right, is in order to get her to that point, she has to be made to feel comfortable. She has to feel comfortable. If she's not feeling comfortable with you, you can forget all of this. Understand that feeling comfortable for a woman is a big thing because you have to realize that there is masculine energy and feminine energy within relationships. Okay. Understand that if we go back in like earlier times, whatever, like hunter-gatherer times, the men, they went out and they hunted and they protected their families. The women, they stayed inside, you know what I mean? For the most part, they gathered, you know what I mean? They gathered like the berries and shit, you know what I mean? They took care of the family at home. Ultimately, the man was the protector. Okay, boom. So ultimately, yeah, the man was the protector, right? He protected the family, the woman, you know what I mean? She needed to feel protected in order to carry out her job, okay? This dynamic still exists to this day. Even though with society and all this, they tell you, oh, that's toxic masculinity, all that, whatever. Ultimately, you making a woman feel safe, that plays a big role in her attraction to you. That plays a big role in her attachment and addiction to you as a man. Now, because of this, right, that means that you have to be in your masculine frame at all times. You must be in your masculine frame, okay? Because, and what does that mean? Basically, what that means is, you know, even though I told y'all, yeah, you're going to have to open up a little bit in order to be vulnerable and in order to be authentic and make her feel safe, whatever, you still got to be in your masculine, right? So you don't want to be emotional. Oh, cry. You don't want to be crying in front of her. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I mean? It goes into your physique too, even your physique. Like, are you a dude that looks like, you know what I mean, you strong? Like, are you a dude that looks like you could protect her, whatever? This is why dudes like femboys and all that, you know what I mean? Dudes that's on the, you know, the pretty side, whatever. This is why they struggle with women being attached to them, right? Because ultimately, how's a woman gonna feel safe with a guy that paints his nails and does the same thing as she does? How's she gonna feel safe with a dude that's just as feminine as she is? You see what I'm saying? She can only feel safe with a man that is portraying more masculine energy, right? That more dominant energy. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with that, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's literally that's just how it goes. Oh, toxic. Everyone want to scream toxic in today's society, bro. I'm not hearing it. That's just how it goes, bro. You know what I mean? You make her feel safe. I guarantee that the relationship will go a lot better. Okay. That's how you, I don't really want to say unlock, because, you know, I think women should be feminine anyway, but that's how you really get to see her feminine side, right? You got to be in your masculine. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get to, really, you know, get to that masculine, feminine energy. But anyway, like I said, you got to be able to make her feel safe, right? Whenever she is with you. Now, speaking of whenever she is with you, understand that although you're making her feel safe, whatever, even though you're opening up to her, What you don't want to do is compromise your unpredictability. So, like I said about opening up, you never want it to be on just a linear path. Oh, I'm going to open up more and more and more and more every single time. No, you have to make it, there got to be some dips. You know what I mean? It can't just be, oh, I'm going from 0 to 100. You got to gradually do it, okay? And it's like, not a straight line. It's like, okay, maybe this day I'm going to open up a little more. Maybe not at all, not at all. Open up a lot, not at all. Maybe like a little bit this day, then maybe not that much that day. You eventually get to that point. You know what I mean? You eventually get to the point where you're opening up way more, bruh. Understand that. But it's never like something that's just a linear straight line. You know what I mean? You're going up, down, not every day. You have to be unpredictable. This mystery and this unpredictability, understand that this is the key to making her feel addicted to you. Okay, because that combined with the fact that you are in your masculine and you're making her feel safe. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention this. You should also, every time you are like around a woman, whatever, it is not a simp to be like a man. You know what I mean? What am I trying to say? You can be friendly, bruh. So friendly. Smile. You know what I mean? Smile. Be a friendly person. You know what I mean? Turn on your charisma, whatever. Turn on your social skills, which I know a lot of y'all probably struggle with. Turn on your social skills. All of that, bro. All of this comes into play, bruh. What you really want to fulfill is you want to be the guy that fulfills her needs or is capable of fulfilling her needs, but is not always there. You see what I'm saying? It's not always available. Think of it like a drug again, right? Imagine you are addicted. Imagine someone who's addicted to a drug, right? Imagine that drug, right? It made them feel great, but it wasn't always addicted, or it wasn't always available to them. They would crave that even more. It makes them feel good when they take it, but when it's gone, it's like, dang, like I dang near can't live without it. Same type of thing right here, right? You make her feel good when you with her, right? Now, like I said, like obviously there's levels to how much you're opening up and whatever, but the whole time you are holding masculine frame anyway, right? So, you know what I mean? When y'all together, you make her feel good or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You attend to her love languages, which I'm going to get to in a minute, all of that. But, you know, you still remaining unpredictable. You know what I mean? Your availability is not always there 100% of the time. You know what I mean? So, like I said about love languages too, you want to tap into those. Now, love language, understand that this is a thing that you can just ask about. I don't think it's a super duper invasive question. You can ask, or you can just figure it out yourself. You feel me? Like I said, there's like 5 of them. The only ones that you got to be really careful of is 2. I say words of affirmation and gifts. Why? Because gifts, you don't want to spend too much money, especially since at this point you're not in a relationship with her. You never want to spend too much money on her. If it is gifts, you have 1 or 2 options. You can either spend very inexpensive gifts on her. I'm talking like $20 and below, or you can just really focus on the other love languages. You feel me? Because like I said, it's more of a ranking system. It's not just one thing. You know what I mean? You just focus on the other love languages and hope for the best, whatever. But the other one that you have to worry about is words of affirmation, because the last thing you want to do is over validate. You remember, through all of this, you never want to validate too much. You want to sprinkle in validation, okay? And you do it based off of how the relationship is going, right? This whole thing, everything I'm telling you, you have to make sure that you're reading how interested she is in the relationship. The more interested she is, bruh, you can sprinkle more. You can sprinkle in more validation. If she's not as interested in this or whatever, or she's kind of like on it, you damn near don't want to validate at all. Pretty much not at all, bruh. Understand that, bruh. This whole time you just have to gauge her reaction. It's all about how she is reacting to what you're doing. Okay, that's pretty much how you determine, you know, how much you're giving on any given day. But remember, whole time you're not being super duper available. So boom, you're hitting on her love languages. You find out what her love language is, and you attack those, bruh. You know what I mean? If her love language is like physical touch, you know what I'm saying? Understand that doesn't just mean sex. You know what I mean? Like you could, if you talking to her, you know what I mean? Brush her hand or whatever, just hold her hand, whatever. You know what I mean? Things like this. You touch on her love languages. Boom, touch on her love languages. You make her feel safe, right? You open up, you know what I mean? Every now and then you're unpredictable with it, and you remain unavailable, or not unavailable, but your availability is always unpredictable. You know what I mean? Maybe you hit her up 1 day, 2 days out the week, and then you switch it up maybe 1 day, maybe 4 days, whatever. You know what I mean? It's always unpredictable. Unpredictability plus making her feel good when you're with her, I promise you is going to work wonders. That is what's going to get her insanely attracted to you. is going to get her insanely attracted to you. You keep up this pattern of unpredictability and then making her feel good when she's with you, bruh. And I guarantee you, that is what is going to separate you from the other guys, bruh. Because understand that even though she may be talking to other guys, you know what I mean, at this point, that doesn't really matter, because I guarantee the other dudes is not doing this. They're simping. They have no idea how to do this. They have no idea how to make a girl addicted to them, right? So you do these things and you're automatically set apart from these other guys. So she's going on dates with them, yeah, whatever, but she not really giving them the time of day, and y'all not in a relationship yet. Remember that. So she not really giving them the time of day. She's kind of just like going just to go, but whole time she really thinking about you. She with him, she thinking about you, bruh. You know what I mean? So boom. You continuing with this pattern of, you know what I mean, you making her feel good, you holding off on your availability, you not always there, whatever the case may be. Now, you're going to get to a point, right? You know what I mean? When you really start opening up, you're going to really start, you're going to start seeing that she's going to start like really fighting for your attention, right? She's going to really be fighting for fighting to like hang out with you and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at this point where you're just gonna start to see some changes, because she's going to start catching feelings, right? She's gonna start catching feelings. Now remember, this whole time you never want to get even though you may be emotionally invested, you never want to reveal how you feel 100%. You never want to reveal that. That's a big no-no. And the reason why is because, like I said, as soon as she has you, bruh, as soon as she has you, she don't want you no more. That's basically what it is, bro. But you never want to reveal like your true intentions, your true feelings 100%. Not yet. Not yet. Now, you keep this pattern going, you know what I mean? Unpredictable, all it is. Hitting on them love languages, whatever. Understand that it's gradual. It's kind of similar to how your first love made you feel. But the difference between your first love and now is that, you know, she gradually just waned off. You want to keep this woman in your life. So you going up, you gradually down, gradually up, gradually down. You know what I mean? Kind of, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So boom, she gonna get to the point where she start asking, oh, well, are you seeing other girls? Like, what are we? Whatever. And it's at this point that you know you got her. It's at this point that you know that you have won. Because once a woman reaches this point, she's already decided in her head, like, okay, this is the guy that I want to be. She's basically asking you to be in a relationship at this point. When she starts asking about, oh, what other chicks you talking to, or like, what are we? She wants a relationship. She wants a relationship. It's at this point where you have two paths to go down. You have two different choices. If you want a relationship with this woman and you're taking the good path, okay, then you hop in a relationship and you go from there. Now, after you hop in a relationship with her, understand that the game shifts a little bit. So I'll probably make a whole separate video on that, but the game shifts a little bit. If you don't want to be in a relationship with her and using this for evil, that is when the selling her a dream comes in. Understand that when you sell a woman a dream, you're really just telling her the truth, because you don't want a relationship with her quite yet. So what you would say is something along the lines of, I think me and you work well together. I think me and you are very compatible and we have a lot of chemistry. I think if we continue going at this rate, in the near future, we can be in a relationship. Right now, I don't think it's the right time. And I really want to prioritize my time and your time as well. So I really just want to wait for the right moment. Right now, I don't think it's the right moment. But I think as soon as that moment comes, we're going to be great for each other. That is exactly what selling a dream sounds like. That is what selling a dream to her sounds like. That's what you tell her. Now, the reason that this and this right here, once you start selling her a dream, her addiction and craving to you is going to skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket because now, okay, the way that you say it, the way that you sell the dream, you never want to do it in a harsh way. You realize that the way that I say it, you know what I mean? It made it sound like, oh, I said, oh, we got good chemistry together, whatever. She's going to take that as, oh, you know what I mean? He like what's wrong with him? Like, why he didn't want a relationship with me? Whatever. She probably gonna feel some type of way for a bit, right? But understand the words that you use hold weight. That's why I said, oh, we have good chemistry, whatever. You want to say good words as well, right? Because she gonna hear those and be like, okay, well then maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's hope. That's what it is. You're giving her hope. okay? And the fact that you're giving her hope, right? You're kind of, it's kind of like you're rejecting her, but you're giving her hope at the same time. And this right here is gonna make her go crazy for you, dog. You're giving her hope, but you're also rejecting her, bruh. And so that's going to just get her like mad addicted to you, because now, you know what I mean, that little bit of hope, she's going to be chasing that. She's going to be chasing that. You know what I mean? Part of getting someone addicted to you is you take the goal, the finish line, and you keep moving it. You keep moving it. You keep moving it. So next time she asks you, you like, okay, yeah, but like, I think I need to see this. We got good chemistry, but you keep moving the finish line. You keep moving the goal. Okay, understand that she's going to want to crave reaching that goal. It's almost like, it's like, it's like, let's just use a drug example again, bruh. She's going to be chasing that high when whole time she's never going to get there. And you telling her, we can get there, like, if you just do this, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. You right there, you right there, you right there. And you keep saying that. She's going to keep chasing that. Now, obviously, you can't keep doing this forever. Obviously, you know what I mean? At some point, y'all going to end up either just cutting it off, or you probably going to end up in a relationship. One of those two. But I promise you that her addiction will skyrocket if you do that, bro. So I think I touched every subject. This is a lot. I went into pretty deep detail. I went into depth. If y'all have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. I believe I hit everything. There's probably, I kind of mapped this video out in my head before, and I had like some really great ideas. I think I might have missed out on a couple, but I think y'all get the gist for the most part. Like I said, if y'all want more questions answered, just leave them down in the comment section below. I urge you to use this for good and not for evil. This is how to get a girl attached to you, man. And this is how to get a girl addicted to you. Love you, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.